mix in Quentin, QMB, into the lineup. And he's a young guy, doesn't know the system yet. And we have to make sure we have realistic expectations for him. Don't get the expectations too high. He's going to come in and dominate right away. We'll have to see where Kai is in terms of availability. So there's a lot going on at this point, getting ready for the next window in Guam. And then from Guam, we have Australia and New Zealand, and we're going to have to be at the top of our game by the time we're ready to play in New Zealand and Australia. And hopefully that means the health of Kai, and the health means the Guam window will be a time where QMB can really try to integrate into the team. Then we'll look year end and reassess the team going into the next year and see if there's any more changes beyond Quentin Brown that we might do. It's just like year end of end of season for any team. You take a look at your team. You go, what do we need? Are players getting older? Are there young players that we can maybe draft and pick up? Is there a free agent out there? Can we perhaps make a couple of trades? These are the things you go on with your regular club team, your PBA team. And these are the thoughts that, since this team is a team of continuity with a Gilas team, it's the same kind of approach. At the end of the year, we'll take a look. Do we need to make some changes? But we're not going to change, 8, 9 guys or something like that. That's crazy. We have to start all over. We have a really good young core. If you think about it, outside of Dwight, who was 26, we have 5 guys or 6 guys that are under 24 years old. And that's Kai, that's AJ, that's Carl, Kevin, QMB, and somebody else. All those guys are 24 years and younger. So they're young players still developing, not even close to their prime yet. And so that's a core that we're going to continue to work with. And then, you got Calvin, who's like 28, I think, and then you've got Scotty, who's 30. And beyond that, you've got some 30, Jumar, who's, a little older, and Nunu's a little older. But you want those little older guys because they show the way. They show how to prepare for a game. They show how to come to practice and get ready. They show the importance of paying attention to detail because they've learned these things as they've gotten older. Young players don't know a lot of these things. So you need veterans to show the way. And eventually those 6 guys, 7 guys will become the veterans. And when new guys come in, they'll be able to show the way to the new guys. And that's basically how you build a team and how you continue to build. That's how you build an Ever. That's how you build Alaska in the past or Sandman Coffee. And that's what we're looking for with Gilas. We're very much aware that Nunu is 35 or 36 and Justin's 37 and Jumar is 35 or 34. We know those guys are there, but they're there for a purpose. You just don't want to come with 12, 20-year-olds. It's tough because there's a lot for them to learn, and we want to win and we want to develop. We want to win now, and yet we still want to develop and get better. And so the youth gives us a chance to continue to develop. And that size that we have, those guys, those 5 guys that we talked about, 6 guys that are, including Dwight. Dwight's like 6'5", you've got Carl, who's 6'8", you got Kevin, who's 6'6", 6'7", you got AJ, 6'11", Q, 6'10", Kai, 7'3". My gosh, you've got tremendous size right there in that core. And imagine that core staying together for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, even 6 years. And that group goes from 24, 23 to 30, 31. and they're in the prime of their career. So it's an exciting young core that I'm excited to be around, and we're just trying to fit the right pieces around that core so that we can try to win now. But we want to continue to develop as we go. We don't want to have a hard ceiling. We want to keep pushing that ceiling up and keep moving forward at the same time. Because the moment we lose, everybody's angry and they want to change everything. So it's important to win now. It really is. It's important to win now and show how good you can be. But just like any other team, that's the problem with Gilas. There's really unreal expectations. They expect you to win every game. They expect you to beat Australia every time, or beat New Zealand every time, or even Chinese Taipei. They expect you to beat every time. If you look at the club teams, the NBA, or us, we don't beat San Miguel every time. We don't beat Blackwater every time. Once in a while we're going to get beat by them, and they're going to get better and better and better. Also, they're working hard to improve. Chinese Taipei is working hard to improve. They're searching the world for their Philams, and which they did. They brought in a couple of guys from NCAA Division I players, and they got a great naturalized player, a 7-foot naturalized player, and they built them around. They developed a good team. The Middle Eastern teams are doing the same thing. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. So it's a competitive world out there. It's hard to keep up with the Joneses, but we're doing our best, and we think with our young core, we can match up with anybody in Asia with our young core. But we haven't had our young core together yet. We've never had Kai and AJ play in the same game or even in the same practice. Never had them practice together since we've been together. Now we got Quentin will be a new addition, and he'll elevate the team. So it's a team that I don't think has seen their best game yet. We haven't seen our best game or our best team together yet. And knock on wood, we don't run into a bunch of injuries or have something come unavailable or have availability issues, and we take this next year by storm. By having this core all together and having AJ and Kai and Q together, getting Dwight, healthy. Dwight was more healthy this time. He wasn't healthy when we were playing Chinese Taipei and New Zealand in that last window. He was not healthy, but he was healthy enough. Hopefully we can keep him healthy. And if we make additions or subtractions, those guys come in and make an impact. So we'll see. But I'm excited about the program. We've had a couple of setbacks that we're disappointed on. I'm really disappointed that we dropped in the rankings. I knew it was coming. It still hurt a lot to drop. We worked hard to get that ranking back up, and then we lost again. And ultimately our ranking, we want to get our ranking into the top 20. Top 29. That's our first goal, is get it to the top 29 and then get it under 30, and then after that, see if we can get under 25 and into the 20s. That's our goal.